I'm looking over here. You be looking. So I've been shooting a lot of video recently with my Canon 7D DSLR, with the DJI Spark, and with my iPhone 7. And then I've been taking a lot of that footage and putting it together in Adobe Premiere and editing it here on my iMac, my trusty 2011 SSD upgraded iMac. When I was in California, I edited a lot of my videos on the iPad Pro. The iPad Pro is really a great multimedia tool, gives me a lot of options to create content, but I don't always have my iPad with me. I always have my phone with me. They say the best camera is the one you have, and I have this camera with me every single day. But it's also my best editing platform because I have it with me every day. So I thought I'd do a quick tutorial on editing drone footage using the Apple iPhone, and that I would edit the entire thing on the iPhone.
And here's the proof.
So now we're going to start our 100% edited iPhone project. As you can see, I'm actually recording the screen on my iPhone. I'm not even using QuickTime on my Mac. I'm going to go ahead and dive right into LumaFusion, and we're going to edit together a couple of clips for a small project that I've wanted to do. So let's jump into LumaFusion, and we're going to go ahead and create a new clip. All right, so the name of this project is going to be Recent Drone IG, and the intended audience for this project is Instagram. So we're going to go ahead and change our aspect ratio to 1:1. And we'll keep ourselves at 30 frames a second. And we're going to go ahead and hit Create Project. So now we got our project. I'm going to go ahead and import my footage. I'm going to do a separate video about how to import footage either from a drone, from a DSLR, or into other devices directly into iPhone using the Apple Camera Connection Kit. There's a couple of different fun ways to do that. I'll link to that video once it's complete. So I'm going to hop into the albums here, and I actually went ahead and made one specifically for, okay. So I want to add some clips from this one here. And if you watched my previous video on using LumaFusion, you'll know that you can use these handles here to adjust your footage, or you can use the scrubbing tool here and set your in and out points. I'm going to do a little bit of both here, so I'm going to set this to be a little further out, and what I want to do is I just want to take this shot of when I send the drone out, and then I want to scroll back and find the spot where that kind of ended and I actually stopped flying the drone. So it looks like it was right about there. So I'm going to scroll back just a little bit, make sure I get all those frames. That looks about right. So it's about 2 minutes worth. So we're going to go ahead and drop that on our timeline. So we've got it there. I'm going to tap on that clip. I'm going to hit the toolbox and I'm going to hit edit. In the edit screen, this should be really familiar if you have watched my previous video. I'll link it. If you haven't, it's really good. It's a little long, but it's really good. So then we're going to go and click on time, and I'm going to push this all the way to 6 by, it's going to be 600%. And then we're going to go back. So now this clip is only about 20 or 30 seconds long. It's still a little longer than I want it to be. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to shorten it, and we're going to zoom out just a little bit using the pinch right there. So we're just going to kind of go to about there. Okay, so we got about 12 seconds worth of that. We'll go ahead and play that back. Okay, and that looks, I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. That looks pretty good. Okay, I want to add one more little clip, and then I'm going to add a clip of the drone flying into the sunset. Get that endpoint. Drop that in. And then I want one more clip, like you can see here, of the drone kind of flying out into the distance. That looks really nice. And then we'll go ahead and drop that onto the timeline. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to add in some titles. So I'm going to go ahead and import media, and it's going to go to my Dropbox folder, and I'm going to go ahead and put in my logo, which is a PSD file, so it's going to have to download. And we'll go ahead and scale it out a little bit. I want it to cover kind of part of both of these clips. All right, it looks pretty good. I really like that LumaFusion supports the transparency in a PSD. Now, I need to scale it down a little bit, so I'm going to change the fit mode to fit, so it actually fits and we actually get the full image. And I want to actually add some keyframes because I want to take the logo and I actually want to move it up the screen in an animation as we go. So I'm going to add that keyframe, and then I'm going to go to the end of this part of the clip. I'm going to add another keyframe. And then I'm going to take the position of the logo and I'm going to move it up to the top. And then if we play that back, we actually should get a full animation out of it. There we go. That looks nice. And then we can see it on our timeline. It's also pretty cool that it's in real time. No rendering necessary. So we'll go ahead and scroll out to the end of our clip. And we've got a little bit of space left in our 1 minute, so I'm going to add a little bit more of another video that I did when I was going down to Calico Basin. So I'm just going to pick my in point here, find my out point. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and add that to my timeline. And let me just scroll through, make sure that looks okay. I'm going to increase the speed to about 2.5. And then I think that should be a good length. We're staying around 10 to 15 seconds for each clip. And I think that'll actually turn out pretty well. Now I want to go ahead and add some audio. So I'm going to import media. It's going to go back to my Dropbox. And I do actually have some royalty-free songs saved in a folder on my Dropbox. So I'm going to go ahead and plug those in. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do White Rooftops. I really like that song. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. It's going to import that file into our project. And it's going to go ahead and download that. And then we're just going to drop it in. Now I've sped this next part up, but basically what I'm doing is I'm scrolling through and adjusting the in and out points for each of the clips to match some of the audio cues that are in the song. Sometimes I start with a song first and edit from there. In this case, I added the song after we had already picked the clips that we wanted to use. All right, and I think we're ready to share our clip. We're going to go ahead and keep that 1:1 aspect ratio, the 1080 by 1080, and we're going to keep everything else the same. And then we're going to go ahead and render and export this file.
If you like this video, or if you liked any of the videos that I've been doing with tutorials, drone footage, time-lapse, hikes, please go ahead and like this video, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and put it down below in the comments. I really appreciate it. If you've got a cool video project that you did on iPhone, go ahead and send it to me. I'd love to take a look. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.